Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is the series of my author journey, and this is a video that I wasn't expecting to make, which is ludicrous because if I would have just thought through the next possible step when I made the last video, I would have realized that of course I want to make a video about this particular step because it's one of the most exciting steps after getting your agent. Going out on submission is freaking exciting. The next possible exciting step is getting picked up by a publisher. And there will be plenty of other steps in between now and then, so I'm not going to claim there aren't going to be any more videos until I get my book deal. So the point of this video is to tell you about the step of going on submission, which is when your agent sends your manuscript out along with pitch package or email explaining what the book is about and the summary and things like that to the different editors. And just to be clear, each publisher has in each specific genre, probably like 5 different imprints. And you probably don't even know, you probably think they're separate publishers. You probably might not even know that like Balzer and Bray is actually the same exact publishing house as Harper Teen. They're both under the umbrella of HarperCollins, that kind of thing. So is Inkyard, I think. So anyway, there's a ton of imprints out there. I am really excited for some of them. I have like my top 2 favorites are in round 1 of 9 editors, and then one of my other absolute top tier, like I can't believe this would be a dream come true, is in the next round. So even if everybody from round 1 rejects me, I still have hope that one of my absolute favorites will pick me up in round 2. So we'll see about that. But anyways, right now we're just focused on the round 1 first 9, and 9 is a lot. I know, usually it used to be like 5, but now agents are expanding it to like 7 to 9. Anyway, so this particular step begins with my agent and me having a Zoom call where she reads me her pitch letter, and I don't really retain stuff in an audio format super duper well. So when she asks, do you have any feedback? I don't even really remember what she just read me, honestly. So I'm like, I probably will, but I have to read it with my own eyes first. And she's like, okay, well, here's how you can access it, blah, 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 blah. And then we talk about the different editors and the imprints, the publishers. And one of them is really excited. She's already talked to, she's already explained what my book is about, and that editor is super excited to read this manuscript. So that editor says, so we will see. So anyways, that's all very exciting. And then a day goes by and I read the pitch letter and I have a couple ideas and I explain those to her, but we'll get to that in a bit. And then just 2 days later, I'm off on that trip that I've already made a video about to Utah to visit my in-laws. Actually, it's also Utah. It's Utah and in-laws. They're not technically my in-laws because I'm not married yet, and it's also not Utah. It's Salt Lake City, 2 hours outside of Salt Lake City in Idaho, but it's all Utah-centric. So anyways, the point is, I'm too busy to even think about obsessing. Thank goodness. So Monday is the day that we arrive in Utah, and that's the day that I finally, she sent out my manuscript. This is the day that I'm officially on submission, but I don't get a chance to really think about it or obsess about it until like 2 a.m. because I've been up chatting with family and stuff. And finally I sit down and I take a look, even though there's no points, there's not a chance in heck that any of the editors will have even had a chance to confirm they've received your email yet, let alone made any kind of decision, because they can't possibly have read the manuscript yet. So there's no point in looking, but I look anyway. And now, before we continue with that, let us rewind back to when I read her pitch letter with my eyeballs and saw a couple issues that gave me a teeny tiny heart attack. Actually, that's not when I had the heart attack, but I didn't literally have the heart attack, but I saw 2 issues. Now, she's an amazing agent. Everybody makes mistakes. You've made mistakes, let's be real, right? Every single one of you watching this, I've made a million mistakes. So of course, she happened to make like 2 tiny little mistakes in the pitch letter, and so I sent her some feedback about those 2 tiny little things. Thing number 1 is, in the world of publishing, everybody wants to think that their thing is the most original thing ever, and if somebody were to ask you what other famous book is it like, that you would say, oh, it's not like anything else. That's BS. Everything is like something else. If you were to ask me what is Dune, I would say Dune is the serious for adults version of Star Wars, or rather, it predates Star Wars. So, what is Star Wars? Well, Star Wars is the Disney-fied Dune. You know, things like that. And so, what you're expected to do as an agent when contacting publishers is to really drive home what what books or TV shows or movies or whatever that are out right now that people are really into right at this very second. Not stuff that people have read 20 years ago or 10 years ago. You wouldn't even really want to reference anything like Harry Potter or Hunger Games or anything like that. That's old news. You want to talk about what stuff are people digging right now. So you might want to mention something like Cruel Summer or, you know, Bridgerton or something, if those are applicable. So anyways, one of those things is the book What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. And writers do this exact same thing when they're contacting agents. They're expected to list some comparison titles, to kind of draw the agent in and be like, oh, they're comparing it to this book and this book and this book. I'd really like to see how that all mixes together. Not to mention, when you pitch the book, you're also expected to say, it is book A meets book B. So if you were to say something like, it is Anne of Green Gables meets Dune, then you might wonder, whoa, what is that story? A little redheaded orphan goes to stay on this desert planet or something? Except actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you couldn't use either of those because they're ancient. Again, you're expected to use modern current things. So you might say it's Bridgerton meets Cruel Summer. I don't even know what that would be, but now I kind of want to write it. Anyways, the point is, I pitched that it was What If It's Us meets, I forgot what the other thing was. So anyways, she's doing the same thing where she's saying it's What If It's Us by Adam Silvera. But it's by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. So I was like, uh-oh, you might want to mention that it's by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, because it's co-written by two writers, two big known writers in this genre that's applicable to me. And the other tiny issue is that in describing my plot, she was, you know, proposing like, how is the main character going to overcome obstacle A and obstacle B and obstacle C and then obstacle D? And for obstacle D, she's not saying obstacle A, she's like saying what they are. But she's like, how can he get this guy who says their boyfriend's off his back? And it's like, that sentence works, but my eyeballs, when I'm reading that, make it sound like, how can he get this guy? And it's like, no, he doesn't want that guy. He doesn't want to get that guy. He wants to get that guy off his back. So I just want to move the off his back to, if we're thinking about that sentence in three parts, I want to move part C in between A and B. So how can he get this guy off his back who claims they're boyfriends? And in fact, I want to add a part D to further explain why he wants to get this guy off his back. It's not just that the guy claims they're boyfriends. It's how can he get this guy off his back who claims they're boyfriends after only one date that had no sparks. So I suggested that to her. And then, now let's fast forward all the way back to Monday night at like 2 a.m., so I guess it's technically Tuesday morning, and I'm reading her actual pitch that she has sent, her pitch email that she has already now sent out to the 9 top-tier dream imprints, and the sentence reads something like, how can he get this guy off his back who claims they're boyfriends? So first of all, it doesn't include the qualifier of after just one no sparks date, but also it has that accidental double word in there. And I don't remember that it's specifically guy. It might be the word was twice, if I remember right, or something like that. So I'm like, oh no. Now again, I love her. Everybody makes mistakes. What can you do? But I'm like, I think there's an error in the sentence, and also while we're at it, can we clarify that it's no sparks, after one no sparks date? And she's like, whoa, whoops. I even felt bad when I found out days later after I got back from my vacation that she'd even tweeted about it at the time, like, oh my god, that feeling when you have found out after you sent an email that you made a big old typo. But people make mistakes. I did have a minor heart attack at the time, but that's okay. But yeah, so that's where we're at. And for round 2, the changes have been made, so it's all good. So anyways, that's where we're at right now. We can't really expect that much else will occur between now and getting a book deal, but I bet I will make other videos anyway when other things come in. Like if I start getting a deluge of imprints saying, not quite right because of X, and if they all say X, whatever X is, I'll make a video about that because that is inevitable. That happens a lot. Like, ooh, right now the market is not hot for LGBTQ romance set in a theme park. Like for whatever reason, maybe 20 other writers have books coming out about LGBTQ romance set in a theme park or something. So, you know, anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. So see you guys for the next video. Bye guys.